Hey YouTube, ladies and gentlemen, this is the unexpected one to coming to you with, as you can see, a One Piece discussion video. And this video, to me, this is probably one of the best videos I'll ever do on One Piece. And check out my channel because I have a whole slew of them. But this video, right now, I think is of utmost importance. And why do I say that? You see the title, Luffy's Progression. Now, this video will be broken down into 3 parts, I believe. Number 1, actually talking about Luffy from when he started to now. Number 2, talking about the Golden Age pirates, the whole comparison to the Golden Age pirates. And number 3, Luffy, where do I see him going? Okay, just with that. Alright, starting with it off. Now, let's remember, because people often have a revisionist history, often are forgetful of history, especially Americans these days. There's One Piece fandom, man. Like, some people know their stuff, but many people are just ignorant as can be. They're not thinking logically either. Why do I say it? Let's get back to it, Luffy. Now, there's a lot of talk about how Luffy, he's not that powerful as people say. Some people saying he's underestimated. There's a whole lot about his power level, right? Let's look at this thing. Now, let's start with the beginning. Captain Morgan and all that. We saw that he was pony. But then we see his struggle with Buggy the Pirate. But then we see him with Don Krieg. And it's pushing him. Then Arlong, he has to go all out. Now, it might be the way that Oda's doing this, that at the end of a saga, at the end of an area, Luffy's got to go all out. But I think there's more than that. Luffy, back in the day, was going on straight, pure power, natural physical physique. In the East Blue, that's all it was. It was physicality. That's it. There was no, like, yes, he was using his devil fruit ability, but there was no, like, development. It was straight up. Yes, and I understand people can say he trained for years. No, but I don't care about all that. He trained as a child. His fights and everything in the East Blue, in the East Blue saga, it was all natural. It was all physical ability. That's it. Then let's get to the Grand Line, where, what does he do? Oh, I mean, he faces Warple and that whole thing with the. We do see him face against Zoro, which was kind of cool. Warple, he was pissed to him. That was nothing. But then, to me, the real first start, and we seen the development progression, is the fight on Alabasta, and you know it's against Crocodile. He lost twice. I don't know if Luffy had lost once yet. Oh, and I forgot about Kuro, but yeah, in the East Blue, you know that. But Crocodile almost killed him. Luffy had to get assistance. So it brings us, you know, it was Crocodile was Shichibukai, Sir Crocodile. We start to see really that Luffy, you know, that art tells me that Luffy's natural abilities aren't enough. Then we go to Sky Piea with Enel. Now, I know he was the polar opposite, and people say that's the reason he was able. And yes, that's partially true. But we start to see something. Oh, and Bellamy. I almost forgot about Bellamy. Holy crap. The One Punch. We start to see something with the Grand Line. That Luffy, it's not just natural ability now. He is legitly, he's on some Saiyan stuff here. And what am I mean by Saiyan stuff? Like, the more Luffy, I mean, obviously you get stronger as you fight, but I'm talking about exponentially stronger. Luffy's almost been, by this time, Arlong almost, Don Krieg to some extent. Arlong definitely almost killed Luffy. Shoot, Crocodile almost killed Luffy. Luffy's on some Saiyan stuff, like near death. He's getting exponentially more powerful. This is what it is and what it ain't. So we see that. We see the one punch to Bellamy. And Bellamy ain't nothing to play with. I don't care, you know, if you know Dressrosa arc, that's current arc, you'll see what I mean. Like, it's giving me proper perspective. Bellamy wasn't nothing to play with. It's just Luffy's is that much stronger. Like it was showing. the level. Dude, Luffy ain't nothing to play with. Like, Luffy is in beast mode. Then he goes up to Scott P and faces in now. And I know that the lightning wasn't working, so to say. But it doesn't matter. NL, NL could transfer all kinds of over places. But Luffy and Luffy, I think, lost twice to NL. And then Luffy finally was able to take him down. And then, Water 7. Oh, we got the David back fight and all that. But Water 7, which I didn't think, we see him lose to Rob Lucci pretty easily. But then again, in his lobby, like the Straw Hats proved to be more than just a regular rookie crew, the ordinary pirates, like Don Quixote, Doflamingo thinks. And we see that Luffy is like, oh my goodness. And you see what he does to Rob Lucci. And Rob Lucci, yo. But again, Luffy almost dies. And then what happens with Thriller Bark? And I understand Luffy, Nightmare Luffy, but still. But actually the whole thing about him with the shadows being able to take 100 or 100 plus shadows, we see it again. And he defeats, and he almost dies again. And the whole Kuma and Zoro's epicness, we see that. But then we see Luffy come back. And we see Saburi. And we see him up with the likes of Captain, Eustace Captain Kidd and Trafalgar Law, who at that point were more powerful than Luffy. Let's just be real. But Luffy could compete with them on equal planes. I mean, he was fighting against he was holding his own against a pacifist. He wasn't there, but he was holding his own. But I mean, it was Bartholomew Kuma and Kizaru. What was he supposed to do against that? I mean, come on, let's get real. But then this whole thing with Amazon and Lily. The Boa sisters, they were wiping the floor. But then we see Luffy, every time. And then Impale Down. We see that whole thing. And then freaking Marineford. Every near-death. And then he comes back post-time skip has really been unchallenged as of yet. I mean, Caesar Clown, his ability was, on Punk Hazard, his ability with the gases, he was suffocating. But other than that, he hasn't really been challenged yet. And then we see Don Chinjao, and we in Dressrosa arc, and I'm not trying to spoil, but you see that, and you see Luffy, but Luffy, how much power did he actually use? It was a strong punch, but still. All that being said, look at Luffy's progression. People, it's been 2 years. Luffy is only 19 years old. Before time skip, he was 17. He is still a teenager. Now, this is a segue. What I'm about to say is a segue into part 2. He is a teenager. How strong do you expect him to be? People are like, oh, he's not old age, blah, blah. Dude, his age is ridiculous. I mean, you got Sanji and Zoro, who only a couple of years older than him too. But still, Luffy. We're talking Luffy here. His progression is astronomically. It's astronomical, that's what I meant to say. Exponential is what I meant to say as well. Yo, this dude, and I've said it before and I'll say it again. This dude is on par with Admiral level. Could he keep up with that? What I mean is, he can keep up with Admirals? Yes, I really do believe so. Can he beat them? Hell no. I think Luffy's at this point can defeat Don Quixote Doflamingo, but it'll take a long battle, drawn, because Doflamingo ain't nothing to play with, y'all. Yeah. Doflamingo ain't nothing to play with. Okay, so that's the level. Now, Golden Age Pirates. People need to stop comparing Luffy and the rest of these dudes to the Golden Age of Pirates. Okay? They need to stop doing it. And I'll talk more about that in the third section. With Golden Age Pirates, first of all, I mean, you have Don Chinjao talking to Dressrosa, hate to be a spoiler, but this ain't much. Talking about headbutt splitting continent. You had Garp, You had freaking Goldie Roger. You look at Kizaru. You look at these oldies. You look at Zephyr. Even Z is canon, even though his feet's on. You look at these dudes. These dudes were Sengoku. All these dudes. I'm not Kizaru. I meant to say Dark King Silver's Rayleigh. You look at all these dudes. At least Admiral level. White beard. And they're old. So these dudes in the Golden Age of Pirates, oh my gosh. That's why it's called the Golden Age. Their power levels were off the Richter. Just planetary status jump. But here's the thing. When we look at, Shiki, when Shiki and Rogers almost face off, how old were they? in their 30s at least. Let's look at most of these strong pirates and marines in the One Piece world currently, and in comparison. Okay, first of all, hold on. Let me get my train of thought ready. With Whitebeard, okay, Whitebeard was 73 when he died, and 20 years ago when Goldie Roger was executed, he would have been in his 50s, right? In his prime. These dudes weren't older. I mean, look at Garp, Sengoku, both old men. Dark King Silver's Rayleigh, old. All these guys are old. So of course in their prime they're going to be more powerful than Luffy right now, because Luffy he's still got a freaking decade to go before he gets his 30s, and he's already this powerful. Yeah. You know, Ace, you know, you could take it. Ace was a few years, I think Ace was still a couple years older when he died than Luffy is now. Yeah. Okay. These dudes, look at the powerful ones now. Look at the powerful ones right now. We have all the admirals. They're over 30. They're all in their 30s, if not 40s. Shoot, Doflamingo, I believe, is now 41. Shanks, red-haired Shanks, I believe he's late 30s, early 40s. Of course, Luffy shouldn't quite be there, because these guys are in their prime of their life. These guys are middle-aged, becoming middle-aged. You understand what I'm saying? So, people really got to take that consideration. Now, you know, of course, Luffy, it's going to take him some time. But this whole extra time skip necessary? No. Get that foolishness out your mind. Luffy's going to continue growing exponentially stronger and stronger. Okay? I say by the time he's 25, he could possibly be Pirate King. He's going to be on some Al Capone stuff here. And the reason I say it is, look at like this. Luffy, I don't care if they're old. And here's the thing you got to give about the Golden Age. He's able to go up against these dudes. His survival rate is ridiculous. He should be dead multiple times over, but isn't. His determination, he mastered the basics of hockey in a year and a half, when Silver's Rayleigh said that there was no way in 2 years he would even grasp the basics of hockey. I mean, yo, Luffy is truly exceptional. And that whole Willer D factor. And I mean, his lineage, Monkey D. Dragon, Monkey D. Garp. But here's another thing when you have to put comparison. Do I think he's stronger than Garp? Old man Garp. Yes. People for some reason keep thinking when people say he's stronger than Garp, they think he means, some might be idiotically saying it, but they think he means Garp in his prime. No. Do I think he's stronger than Whitebeard now? Yes. Old man Whitebeard when Whitebeard died? Yes, I do. It's not crazy. If he's not stronger than that, we don't even need to be talking about Yonko or nothing else. Okay? People really need to take into consideration Luffy. A lot of people are underestimating Luffy. Some people may be overhyping him, but yo, we've seen Luffy time and time again, and I believe this Dressrosa arc is going to expose a lot of, you know, it explodes so much. And it's going to show that Luffy is legit like that, yo. Luffy is what's up. So that's all that being said. Now, like I said, and here's another thing. One last thing. Two quick things. I love what somebody said. Actually, a couple people said Luffy, you know, Goldie Roger, Pirate King. Trafalgar Law is like the Whitebeard of the new age, and freaking Captain Kid is the Shiki, you know, Golden Lion Shiki of the new age. And understanding that, yeah, I can see the comparison. Now, with all that being said, I think that one last thing I had to say is, the new era just started. 2 years ago, after the Marineford War, that was officially the start of the new era. 2 years. Give it time. And plus, we haven't seen all out. We haven't seen Trafalgar Law go out. We haven't seen kids improvements. Jewelry Bonnie. Obviously, none of the Straw Hats go all out. But this worst generation, they're called the worst generation because all these big events are happening with these dudes. So give it time, people. Give Oda time. I hope y'all like the video. Like, comment, subscribe. Tell me y'all thoughts on Luffy's progression, on Luffy's power level. What y'all think about him and just his peers. Alright. Peace. Have a beautiful day.